He's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and seriously, you have to start putting him up there at GOAT status with, you know, whoever else you think is the GOAT.
He's got good skills, but good is not enough. You can be great.
The way that he feels right now is he's accomplished everything he's wanted to, you know, he set out to accomplish. The McGregor-Poirier fight and Chandler and Hooker on there. So his words to me were, I'm gonna watch this fight. He said I would never tie up the division.
Okay.
I would never tie up the division, hold the belt, and keep the belt away from anybody else. These guys do something spectacular. Show me something spectacular.
Wow.
And make me want to come back and fight.
And it's just, we live for these matchups, these stylistic matchups. So when something like that happens and a guy like Khabib has a fight where all these questions get presented, that's where a guy like Michael Chandler comes into the mix.
Yeah, well, and I love, like, after that fight too, because I said something. I posted a video. Do you see the video of me scrambling with Kamaru Usman, like the crazy, like,
that was awesome.
And I said, if all he has is wrestling, how do you beat a man who can't be taken down? You know,
right?
And I got so many messages from, you know, Russian guys that just said Khabib time. You know, and it's just like, of course, you know, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, man. Where, I mean, that fight with Eddie, I mean, the fight with Khabib, it's exciting.
If I'm ready to be world champion, like undisputed, doesn't matter who, like tall, short, striker or wrestler, I have to beat everybody, you know. And only I have to, for become world champion, like for defend my title, you know, I have to beat anyone in the world, you know. Doesn't matter Michael Chandler or Justin Gaethje or other opponent. Like, I don't care about this, you know. If something happen and Michael Chandler jump in, okay, welcome, no problem. But Coach Javier said if Michael Chandler gonna jump in, he want I fight on a stand-up. He said I believe we can beat him on a stand-up, you know.
To that octagon and feeling the cage, feeling the canvas, man, I was right where I needed to be all these years of that hard work. And I'm excited to go back, that I could beat these guys literally for the last decade. I've known this. I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't tell her that. I couldn't tell the fans that, because when I did, everybody said, well, why don't you jump over to the UFC? Why don't you prove it? Well, I'll tell you right now, I've been around these guys. I've been around the highest level guys that you admire, they admire, everybody from California to New York and everywhere in between. I've been around all these guys and gals. I promise you they don't live their life like I do. I promise you they don't put the amount of work and emphasis into living the championship lifestyle like I do.
Being that Khabib wanted to see something special, did he see it from Michael Chandler tonight?
I think he did, you know. And if he didn't, that's fine. Listen, there is no shortage of great lightweights. Listen, I think I beat Khabib. I think I beat him in the wrestling. I think I stop his takedowns. I think I knock him out. I think I'm the first guy that is able to knock Khabib out. If I put my hands on him, I promise you he's going out. Dan Hooker has never been stopped to the head. He's been stopped at the body by Edson Barboza. He's never been stopped to the head until Michael Chandler came along. So.
Yeah, getting people to talk about. I mean, over the last couple months, the amount of times, like, as soon as Khabib fought, the amount of people that were just talking like, "Hey, you're the only guy that can match Khabib's wrestling. You're the only guy that can nullify his wrestling." I mean, to get yourself in the conversation, that's what it all is. It's all.
Well, styles definitely make fights, and that was what became very interesting after the Al Iaquinta fight, where people were looking at, okay, what about high-level wrestlers who have more refined striking?
Yeah.
And how do they line up? And Kevin Lee was a big one that people kept talking about, but you were a big one that people kept talking about too, because you were saying that you think you could beat him.
100%.
and him, you know, having that fight with Iaquinta, who he was a prohibitive favorite over, but it went the full 5 rounds. And, you know, Iaquinta, although never won a round, showed some chinks in the armor.
So chinks in the armor showed what happens when Khabib can't take you down. I mean, it's tough whenever the one thing that you've always been used to dominating with isn't working, and then you're stuck.
Right.
You know, you're stuck throwing punches, and you're in. You know, he's a little bit behind in the striking aspect. Dude, I've got a ton of respect for the guy.
He's a
ton of
mauler.
respect. Mauler. I mean, at certain times he looks unbeatable. He has looked unbeatable where I've looked at it and other people have looked at it. And people that have fought him, that I've talked
Like the
to.
Barboza fight.
Yeah,
Like he
or-
just fucking mauled Barboza.
And it's just a battle of wills, man. You're inside of a cage, and it's just like we talked about. I knew I could outpace people. I knew I could out cardio them. I could out tough them. You know, certain people get to that breaking point and they break and they concede and they go push. So,
We go again.